Has anyone tried to sabotage you? My mother-in-law seemed perfect at first. She offered to help with wedding planning, said all the right things about how excited she was to welcome me to the family, and even threw us an engagement party. But something changed after she found out we weren't using her church. It started small with comments about how traditional venues have more meaning and outdoor weddings are so unpredictable. I brushed it off as typical mother-in-law behavior until I got a frantic call from our florist. "I'm so sorry to hear about the cancellation," she said. I had no idea what she was talking about. Apparently someone claiming to be me called to cancel our entire order. I quickly confirmed we were still on and asked her to call my cell for any future changes. 2 days later, the same thing happened with our caterer, then our venue, then our photographer. Each time, they received a call from a woman claiming to be me, saying we'd decided to go in a different direction. I was starting to panic because wedding vendors book up months in advance and we were only 6 weeks out. That's when I noticed a pattern. Every cancellation call happened while I was at work, and the vendors said the caller mentioned specific details about our contracts that only family would know. I decided to test my theory. I casually mentioned to my mother-in-law that we were finalizing details with our DJ that afternoon. Sure enough, 3 hours later, the DJ called asking about our cancellation. I asked him to describe the caller's voice. Oh, she had this slight southern accent and kept saying, "Bless your heart," when talking about how you'd changed your mind. That was all I needed. My mother-in-law has that exact accent and uses that phrase constantly. I confronted her that evening, and she broke down crying about how we were making a huge mistake not using her priest, her florist, her caterer. She thought if our vendors fell through, we'd have no choice but to use her connections. My fiancé was horrified. We spent the next week calling every vendor to implement a password system. The wedding went off perfectly, but she spent the whole reception telling guests how she'd saved the day.